What's up guys, my name is Doug. Welcome to the channel. If you are new, welcome back if you are not new. Today we're going to be listening to some music made for intellectuals. So if you are not an intellectual, then this might not be for you. You guys went crazy for the Dial It video I made. It's got over 30,000 views. It's my most viewed video on the channel. Thank you all so much for getting it to that point and for supporting it so much. And a lot of you guys said that I should listen to Playboi Carti's self-titled project if I hadn't listened to it yet, which I haven't. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I hope you all are excited. I'm excited. We're going into this again with an open mind. We're here to have some fun. We're here to listen to some songs that slap. We're here for some Pierre-born production. I want heavy 808s. I want awesome vibes. I'm here to have fun listening to this. So that's what we're going to do. Follow me on my social media. Be sure to support this channel on Patreon. It's the reason I'm able to keep making these videos full-time for you guys. Thank you so much to every single one of my patrons. And with that being said, let's jump right into this project. The first track is Location, and this is Playboi Carti's self-titled album. Let's get it. That pad is so sweet, dude. That kick is so punchy, dude. Those hi-hats sound clean. A little switch up, adding the guitar. Yeah, man, it's a really smooth track, if I'm being honest. It doesn't, how can I say? It's not as energetic as some of the songs on Dial It, and I like it. You know, I like the laid-back vibe to it. The pad sounds so sweet. That really punchy kick with those really cool hi-hat rolls. They really set a tone, a really cool vibe to this track, man. And Carti does his thing on this, you know. He knows he doesn't have to do too much. The beat's already great. He's just got to do enough to really make the track wavy, you know. And he's able to do that. I like this introduction. I think it's really sweet, man. Next track is Magnolia. I think this is like a really famous track of his, right? I think I might have heard pieces of this already. Oh, okay. That's this song. Alright. Yo, first of all, can we just talk about this 808 that Pierre is using? It's so filthy, man. Like, it's so grimy and distorted. I'm digging the synths too. Just keeping it on the 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, the synth. It's pretty cool. I like it. There's a really cool lead going on in the beat, man. That's kind of hard. I like that. What? That kick is so wavy, dude. Yeah, I like the flow. You know, I'm really digging his ad-libs, man. They're like, he keeps them really short, you know, and choppy and subtle. And they really add to his track, you know? I like it. I like his ad-libs. I'm loving the beat, man. Pierre-born killed it. This track is great. It's fire, dude. I like it. Next track is Lookin' with Lil Uzi. This track already sounds like it's in outer space. Oh, the bass is stupid. That little melody is kind of fire. Oh, I like it. It's so simple, you know? But the vibe is great. Pull up the 40, that's all on my fit. I ain't got time to be calling no bitch. That why run from the pit, smoking that gas. You smoke that meat. Yeah. Hey. It's lit, dude. Like I said during the track, it's so simple, you know? That like that's not complicated production. There's not really too much going on. For the most part, it's the 808, the hi-hat, the snare, and then the main synths, a little lead that comes in to do a little melody. And that's really it. There's not too much going on, but it creates a really cool vibe that personally Lil Uzi kills it. I mean, Carti does his thing, but Lil Uzi is tremendous on this vibe, dude. On this beat. It sounds awesome to me. It's really wavy. You like zone out, you know, in those 808s. It's crazy. Next track is Woke Up Like This. Oh, wow. That synth sounds like a really distorted guitar. I love it. That's gotta be a guitar. It sounds so sick. The vocalizing in the background with the auto-tune sounds pretty dope. Yeah, they like me. That makes on me ice cream. Oh, that's like me. Fucked all of y'all bitches so they parties don't invite. I've been getting my dude, that little melody going on right now is so sick. They try to swerve me. These boys I love in my lane, I swear they keep on melody. We got everything. I'm in love with the guac, I get away before I got the chain. I'm in by the that little bell that comes in and plays that little melody during their verses is so ridiculously fire, dude. Pierre is a genius for putting that in there because it really adds such color to their verses. It makes it sound so much better. Lil Uzi is such a rock star, dude. You know, the way that he performs, the way that he delivers his verses. I don't know what it is about his voice that sounds great on the track, you know? This track is fire. It's got a great vibe to it, man. And Pierre Bourne is amazing. He really, I mean, it says here he made this in his Uber. So, again, amazing. Props to Pierre Bourne for making this. Next track is Let It Go. Alright, I'm gonna mention this, and it's becoming a theme, so I'm gonna try to not become repetitive, but it's so worth mentioning. The synths that Pierre Bourne uses in his production and the melody that he plays with them in the background that are so understated but make the track what it is. You've got to pay respects to Pierre for doing what he does on these tracks, because honestly, if the production was not this good, these tracks wouldn't be as fire. I mean, it is what it is. You know, we all know that we come to Playboi Carti for the vibe, for the mood. We don't come for his lyricism. So if these beats were not this fire, he wouldn't be as big as he is. And Pierre Bourne is absolutely a key element to getting Playboi Carti to where he got, and he needs to be given props for that, because this beat sounds amazing right now.
They don't go, they don't fucking go. What? Got the pole with the scope.
Playboi killing it though. The vocals in the background are so sick. Yeah, man, it's a great track. It's short, it's 2 minutes and 30 seconds. It's fire, it's wavy, it's smooth. I love the melodies, I love the synths, and Playboi kills it. He kills his performance on this track. It's a little melodic, he's got a nice flow, he flows on beat, he's got a couple funny lines in there. Really solid track, dude. Next track is Half and Half. I'ma say it again. Playboi does not deserve the hate that he gets, dude. It's so fire. Put that little boy on the block, up in the trap in the spots. Watch, bitch, I'm about to the shots. Yo, I'm zoning out. Fall a little bit, fall a little bit, fall a little bit to my boy. Just for the night, I'ma go fuck, just for the night. Gucci my. To anybody that might think that trap music doesn't necessarily mean beautiful production, I would just ask you to reconsider that notion, because this is a clear example. So far, every track on this has been a clear example of trap music having really great production, having really nice sounding synths, you know, having a lot of effort put into the beat. It doesn't just have to be mind-numbing, you know, it doesn't have to be overly simple. They can add creative pianos, they can use really well-crafted synths and really wavy keys. They can make really beautiful sounding beats with the least amount of instruments, which is actually really it really takes a lot of talent. So, you know, I mean, there's a difference between trap music and beautiful trap music, and some people are capable of making beautiful trap music. Producers like Pierre Bourne, Zaytoven, Southside. He had some production credits on this, actually. These guys, Metro Boomin. You know, Metro Boomin isn't even, like, he's not even just a producer or a beat maker. He really composes his music. The strings and the drums that he uses in his beats are really well crafted and well thought out. So that any notion that trap music has to be repetitive and simple and mind-numbing, you know, it's not correct. You know, some tracks sure are, but for the most part, I would say that a lot of thought goes into making these beats, and a lot of the sounds that are included in these beats are very intentional to create that vibe and that mood. I was zoning out halfway through this track because of those keys, man. They're so wavy. Of course, the artist has to know how to utilize the beat, and Playboi Carti does a great job of that. You know, he does a great job of not doing too much to distract from the production. He wants the focus to be on the production, on the vibe. So he does a great job of performing in such a way that the emphasis isn't necessarily on what he is saying, which is why he doesn't have to be as lyrical. And people who come to him for lyrics will always criticize him and hate on him, and he doesn't deserve that hate. That's what I was saying in the beginning of this track. He gets so much hate. I've seen more hate for Playboi Carti on the internet than I do see love for Playboi Carti on the internet. And I don't think it's deserved at all, personally. Just my opinion. You just gotta know what to expect when you listen to his music, and that's it. Next track is New Choppa featuring A$AP Rocky. Let's see what they've got for us.
My jeans, Alexander, I'm a queen, blinking like ice, I with the hoe like a ice, stack on my.
So that little lead that they're using to play the melody, the main melody of this track right now, for me, right now, it's sounding a little harsh, and it sounds like it sticks out too much from the beat, you know? Like it's all I can focus on right now. I'm hoping that as the track goes on, I'll get more used to the way that it sounds and it won't sound as harsh, and it won't stick out as much. For anyone that's listening to this for the first time, that is immediately what stands out, is that little lead, how harsh it sounds, you know? So I think they could have toned that down a little bit. Not too much, because it does sound cool, but just a little bit. Oh, the kicks.
Let's see who next on my homie list.
So, A$AP Rocky's verse sounds awesome. Like, not only did he kill the delivery and the performance and the actual lyrics, and it was really fire, but the punchy kicks came in right when he started spitting, which was really fire. And it feels like the way his voice was mixed, it covered up a little bit of that harshness to that lead. In Playboi Carti's part of the track, that part stood out way more. You know, that lead stood out way more than on A$AP Rocky's part of the track. For the most part, though, this track is really short and it's really fire. I dig that A$AP Rocky verse, man. He killed that. Track 8 is Other Shit. What even are these keys, bro? The hi-hats are sick. Yo, those claps are so crispy, bro. I love these claps. Love that 808.
Talking my 9 shit.
Yeah.
Walking designer beat. You on some other shit.
So that beat sounds really different from the other ones. You know, those keys, they're not normally, they don't sound a lot like the synths that we normally get on a Playboi Carti track, but I like them, they're fire. There's a little lead that's going on while he's rapping that's going like dun 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 dun, which is also pretty fire to me. I like how simple the hi-hats are. I love the 808 pattern. Those claps are really crispy, and he does his thing. You know, he does his thing. So I mean, he's 8 for 8 right now. I think this is a great project so far. Track 9 is number 9. Makes sense. Like those keys, bro. They sound kind of gospel-ish. The flute, bro. This is stupid fire, bro. Those flute riffs are great.
I just bought it big.
Yeah, man, that track is ridiculously fire with those awesome flutes. The 808s are great. I've learned not to expect the kick to be really punchy with his music, so I've grown accustomed to hearing just the 808 on these tracks and being able to enjoy them. I know that was one of the things that I criticized a lot on Dial It, was that the kicks weren't really punchy, but I see now how he really makes it work with these types of kicks and just having the 808. So I think it sounds really cool. I do think that his flow in the second verse is better than his flow in the first verse. I enjoyed that part more to the track. But what really stuck out to me on this was the flutes and how awesome they sounded. And I think that this is a great sounding track, and it's not too long. It's one thing that I appreciate about his music, is that none of his tracks are extremely long. I love that. I love how self-conscious he is about keeping his tracks a really short, quick fix of trap music to bump and then move on to the next one. I love it. Track 10, Do That Shit. Yeah, such feel-good music. Yeah.
Something I talk about is you do that shit.
Okay.
And I ride and I talk, yeah, I knew it. When it shake back like a
I like that.
Talk about it, the little shit. Yeah, I'm killing it. And I ride and I talk about it.
I like it. This one actually has a message to it, which is really cool, honestly. Basically, actions speaking louder than words is what this track is about. I'd rather not talk about it, just do that shit. I love that. I think that that's really cool. Inspiring people to actually take action instead of just talking about doing something. Really great. I love how happy this beat sounds. Pierre Bourne killed it. I love the flute. I love the 808s. I love the drums. I think it's really simple, and I think it works, which is great. Next track is Lame Niggas. These keys sound so tight, dude.
Fucking with these lame niggas. I heard you talking to them with a lame nigga. I ain't fucking.
There's a really, really subtle lead that's going on. The sound that Pierre chose for these keys is tremendous. It's got a really cool sound. It's got a really nice wavy vibe to it. But there's a really subtle lead. It almost sounds like it's underwater. But man, when it came in, I was like, oh, that's fresh. You know, like it's a little thing that Pierre added to the beat that really made it something special. I'm loving the way this sounds already. Check it.
Started with a lame fame, bitch. Tryna fuck Carti, baby. My pocket so big, pockets thicker than my bitch. Pocket thicker than your bitch. Fuck all of the rapping, dope. Riding nigga from rapping, dope. Then I grab this down the street.
Hey, shout out to Ray Allen, bro. This track is really bouncy. It's really fun. Like I said, I love the sound that they chose for the keys on this. It's got a really nice feel-good vibe to it. I can imagine bumping this in the car full of friends with the windows down, riding around. That's just the image that comes to my head, is just me surrounded by people, everybody just having a really good time listening to this. It's got a really great vibe to it, and shout out to Ray Allen. Next track is Yami, or Yami.
Shorty wanna ball with I got all this walk on me.
The synths that Pierre chose for this almost sound like a video game sound. I love it. Loving all the basketball references.
Money said, y'all me.
This is nice.
Shorty wanna ball with I got all this walk on me.
Dude, that track is so wavy. It's easy to zone out to, man. You kind of get lost in the production of it, which I'm assuming is the reason that it sounds the way it does. You know, they did that on purpose. It's a great track. I personally don't have too much to say about it because it's mostly the same compliments that I've been giving it until now. You know, the 808s sound great, drums sound great, synths are great, because they have a winning formula and they're going to keep making music with that formula, and it's been working. So personally, so far, I'm enjoying this more than I enjoyed Dial It, because on Dial It, I still had like some tracks that I was iffy on, some tracks that I might skip. And so far, I've genuinely really liked all of these tracks so far. So he's doing something right. Next track is Flex. There's a really subtle flute in the background that I like.
Flex on that bar, I flex on that bar with the bag. Asked my nigga, my mom gave her a break, then I gave her a little kiss. Yeah, I had a lick with no beat.
That piano is fire, dude. Whoa, dude. This is beautiful.
Walking that bitch, they playing my shit. Walking that bitch, eyes in the key. Got a white belt like that joke. All of my niggas, they fools. Yo, you're hooking.
This is fire, bro. If I'm being honest, the second half of that track might be my favorite part of this album so far. That sounds awesome. Like, it sounds really beautiful to me. It sounds wavy. It sounds like there's emotion behind it. It doesn't sound like it's just a turn up, have fun track. It sounds like there's meaning and a purpose behind it and a reason that he made it. And it sounds really well produced. It sounds beautifully mixed. I personally love it. It's almost like the climax to this project is great. Next track is Kelly K.
White hoe, running for it. White hoe, let's go. White hoe,
Okay, but to be fair, who of us didn't have a crush on Kelly? Honestly. I love it.
Come and get on fucking when you're Carti, you get high. No hand, I just turned it bit into my main, yeah, my main, take that dirty money, 730, on the drain,
Alright, so it's a really cool track. I'm loving that little sample, you know, the doom doo doo in the beat. It sounds really, really sweet. He's talking to the women in his life. He's talking about the girls that are around him. It's a dope track, dude. It knocks. I personally enjoyed the production on that, and it's got a really cool vibe, albeit it does go on for a little long at 4 minutes and 30 seconds. I would have hoped that maybe there would have been one less verse on this track, but that's not a bad complaint to have, because when you listen to this just to vibe to it, you don't even notice the time going by. It's only too long when you listen to it to review it and to analyze the song. So even that criticism is like, it's not going to be an issue for most people, and I understand that. This is the last track. It's called Had To.
Boss up on these necks, boss up, ooh, way all in my name, ooh, fuck me for my fame, I'm to my toes in hard, go around my ways and
Yeah, you know, it's not one of the best produced tracks on this project. It doesn't knock as much, but the keys are still cool. Carti does his thing. It's a short track. It's a really just like fun way to end this project off, really, to just let us down easy, you know? So I don't have really problems with it. It's okay. It's a nice track. Let's talk about Playboi Carti's self-titled album, bro. So I personally will maintain the idea that I have that Playboi Carti gets too much hate for no reason, because I personally enjoyed listening to this more than I enjoyed listening to Die Lit for the first time. He's got awesome production. He's got great vibes throughout all his tracks, whether they're slower and more mellow or more fast-paced and fun or really bouncy. You know, he does this wide range of different sounds and vibes on these projects, and people kind of misunderstand him. They're kind of coming for lyricism and to hear him rap, but that's not really what he's about. He's more about creating a vibe with the production. Pierre Bourne is a masterful producer, and Carti really utilizes his beats really well to make people feel good when they listen to the music. You don't even have to necessarily pay attention to the lyrics. You just have to feel good when you listen to it. And I personally feel really good after listening to this album. It's not even 50 minutes long. It's 15 tracks long. It's like the perfect length. It feels really enjoyable to listen to every single track. There were no skips for me. If I were to listen to this album again, I would skip none of the tracks. I thoroughly enjoyed every single one. Honestly, like if I had to give this a grade, you know I like giving things letter grades because I feel like an A+ can mean, you know, from 9.7 to 10. And I like having that flexibility. I like having that vagueness to my ratings where I don't have to be extremely specific. I would definitely give this project anywhere from an A to an A+, honestly. Like 9.5 or higher. Yeah, for sure. Because I really enjoyed this, you know. I think that this is a really fun listen, honestly. So thank you all so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, give it a like, comment down below. What do you think about this project? Follow me on my social media and consider supporting this channel on Patreon. You can do it for $1 a month and become a patron. It helps to put food on my table and helps me to keep working very hard to produce quality videos for you guys full time. I appreciate you all so much for the support. I'll be back in another video very soon. Till then, stay safe. Peace out.